Yo, what's going on, Ian? This is part 2. So in this video, I saw this other swing of yours, and I was just wondering, I was like, oh man, this one came before the other one that was kind of like the Cody Bellinger-esque. And I gotta be honest with you, I really like this swing right here, man. This is a very smooth, very effortless, very efficient swing. There's not a whole lot to change about this, but there's a lot of good things here that I think would be things that I would maybe have you correct or change or tweak in your other swing. So first off, like I said in the first video, we talked about a negative movement with the front side. So again, it's like the front elbow and the front knee are the two kind of points that I like to point out. And as we go into our load, from our stance to our load, there's some kind of negative movement towards our center of gravity. That's a bad line. Towards our center of gravity. All right, so our center of gravity, that's where all our rotation, that's where all our power is turning. Everything is turning around that center of gravity. By moving these 2 points past the center of gravity, we create a natural movement or momentum towards the pitcher, which also allows us to have timing and rhythm. Okay, so I'm going to show you, I'm going to do Machado's first. Okay, and you'll see it's not too much, but there's definitely a movement. The elbow and the knee make movements in a negative fashion. Some big league hitters do this way more obvious. He's a little more subtle because it's kind of more of a leg lift, but you can see this coil here. And again, like in the Bellinger video, this elbow, lead elbow, goes back towards the catcher slightly and kind of down towards that back hip. And then you see what that does to the barrel. Let's get a different color here. You see what that does. Keep an eye on his barrel. How the tip, so it goes from behind his head to when he's at the peak of his leg lift, the barrel is up with that knob excuse me, towards the catcher. Okay, putting him in an optimal position so that when this front foot does land, he fires the hips, the shoulders, a connected turn comes flying through, the barrel gets on plane early, stays through a long time, and boom, see you later. We'll go back up to yours, and what I like that I see here is boom, there's that negative movement, right? There's that negative movement back. This gives you timing and rhythm. You don't have much with your knee, doesn't necessarily move back, but you do have a slight little coil with the front side, which is also kind of does the same thing. It allows us to close our hips off into our movement forward. So hopefully I'm catching you. I'm not getting too technical for you here. I try not to get too technical. But having a front hip coil, so like on Machado, there's a little bit of a coil there, which helps engage, which really helps to engage that back hip, right? That back hip, you see on Machado how it coils backwards. It's almost like his right-handed pocket, and if you can imagine his right pocket on his butt is going to kind of turn towards almost the third base, right? You see how he makes his movement forward. That hip is being coiled so that when that front foot lands and uncoils, and that back hip can fire through. Okay, and this is all coming from that front portion, that negative movement coming back to allow for that hip to coil back, and you do a pretty good job of it. I think we can definitely get it better. Maybe a little more of a negative move we could get with your knee towards that center line, right? So if you watch Machado here, like I said, you'll see everything moves towards that center line, okay, while maintaining the head between the feet. Okay, so the head, if the head stays between the feet, we can have, as soon as we lift our front leg, we're going to have natural momentum forward, right? Because we can't stand up on our leg like that, right? If we wanted to stand up on our leg and balance, we would have to have our head straight up over our back foot. We don't want that, which you do a pretty good job staying inside that back foot. That helps maintain that momentum forward. It gives you a place to actually push off that backside a little bit. So same thing here. So as he goes forward, boom, that back hip fires, wham, wham, boom. Okay. Let's see, let me clear it. So your negative move, pretty good. I definitely see more of a positive, negative. A good thing about that negative move, again, it's timing and rhythm. We're going to take it now into your front foot or heel plant. As that heel hits down, the position you are, which is good. You see, you're actually, hands are up and back. If we take Machado to his foot plant, boom, hands are up and back. So that's good. Right? We want that creates a separation. So as the hips start to go, the shoulders kind of stay back. Right? The hips start to go, the shoulders stay back for just a second longer, and we kind of are twisting our body to create that separation and that upper body torque that just kind of comes around effortlessly. Right? But it's all about gaining some momentum forward towards the pitcher, and you do a much better job of that in this video, in my opinion. Although you may say, well, my other video, I'm moving towards the plate with more aggressively. That's so maybe true or may seem that way, but you are in a much more athletic position in this particular video. And so once you front foot hits, boom, the back hip fires, back foot comes up off the ground. We stay connected pretty well. Stay connected through. The barrel stays above the hands. You're leading with the knob. And boom, and extending through on a so you have a great bat path here, as opposed to the other video. I think you were a little kind of in and out, a little quick. I really like this swing here. You know, you stride to balance, right? So when that front foot hits, your head is centered, right? So Machado, when that front foot hits, boom, we're centered. Right? Remember, we can, in order to rotate as fast as possible, we need to be balanced so that we can rotate around that center of gravity. So you do a great job of getting that done here. Your bat tip, as that front foot hits, you're in a much better position than in the other video. I'm liking it. I see the more of an athletic position here. Same thing with Machado as opposed to like Bellinger. But again, these are big leaguers. They've mastered their style and their technique. So there's not one right or wrong way to swing or one way to stand. But when it comes to me, from what I can tell, I like this swing here. To be completely honest with you, it's a very repeatable swing. You have more adjustability because you have that negative movement back. Like when your front foot hits here, boom, imagine, okay, let's say this is a fastball. You're thinking fastball. Boom, out of the hand, you recognize, oh, it's curveball. At this position that you are in right here, this is how you are going to be able to have that slight hesitation because your weight is back, which means really centered, and your hands are up and back, which means that you can delay your swing for a split second and be able to adjust to a breaking ball and still drive it. In your other video, you did not have that, in my opinion. If you want to take anything from my help here, I would say get back, give this swing another shot. Take some video of another swing that was similar to this one. Some updated ones when you get out there and hit again, and then send me those videos or post them on your Instagram and tag me in them, and I'll do another little analysis like this. But without getting too technical, too detailed, those are just a couple things that I see, and this swing is really, really nice, man. I really like it. It's a pro-looking swing right here. Like I said, these are obviously, this is a game speed. Machado's probably hitting a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. You're hitting soft toss in your backyard. So there's definitely going to be some differences. I would never expect you to have this exact type of swing. And when you get into a game speed swing, things start to change, right? Things start to change. So maybe we'll work together someday. Let me know. I'm located in Vacaville. I've been doing my lessons at the baseball barn lately, so let me know if you are interested, and we can work something out. All right. So hopefully this was helpful. Let me try and think. Was there anything else I wanted to talk about without overloading it and talking forever? Because I can talk for a long time. I think I would just really like to see. I would like to see a negative move. You got the elbow going back. I'd like to see a negative move with this knee. If we can get this knee to come back more towards this center line, it's part of your load and your stride. I think that would be nice. I think that would definitely give you a little more rhythm and create a little more, even more torque in that lower half. Because there's definitely a lot in you. You look like a pretty good sized kid, a good strong kid. I definitely think, and maybe the bending in the hips, being a little more athletic, a little vertical. I think we can get a little more bend in the knees. Our tilt is pretty good. I think on this one we come out of our tilt a little bit. So if you know what I mean by tilt, it's hard to tell from this angle. It's easier to tell from like the center field cam, but it's how you're bent and your kind of chest is kind of over your knees or over your toes, and the kind of the butt is out, chest over your knees and toes, leaning over the plate, and that is going to allow you to rotate into the proper bat path. What happens is, maybe a little bit on just this particular swing, is you have a good tilt, and then you kind of come out of it. Actually, maybe it wasn't this swing. I think it was your other swing. Maybe it wasn't this swing. It was another swing that I noticed. So it was like your tilt. You kind of came out of it just a little bit, but again, that's kind of hard to tell. Yeah, there was 2 swings you took on the soft toss. This one's better. So never mind. Scratch that. This one you do a good job of maintaining that tilt. Because that tilt, if you notice Machado, how he's tilted, you can kind of tell, right? He's kind of tilted over home plate with that upper body. How he stays and rotates around it. That gets the barrel down in the zone. Look at how long his barrel, how early it gets in the zone. Boom, way back there. And then comes up, slightly up through on almost a level plane. You do a pretty good job here too, even though it's like a slower speed practice swing. So you'll see how you get in the zone pretty early too, which is great. And this was an improvement from your other video. So anyways, you do a lot of good things here. Let me know if you are interested in any more analysis. Like I said, take some more video, send it to me, tag me on Instagram. I would love to help with you. So if hopefully talk to you soon. Let me know what you think, if this was helpful. If I don't talk to you, Happy New Year, buddy, to you and your family, okay? Take care.